Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke, and in this video we are going to have a look at Kaspa's short-term price action, and of course we are going to have a look at overall market sentiment and different data that I have gathered for you for today. So if you are new to the channel, remember that this video is not financial advice, and of course consider subscribing if you find any value in this video. Now guys, looking at 4-hourly time frame for our beloved Kaspa. Well, the first thing that I personally see is that Kaspa is currently in overheated area, and I know what you're thinking. Well, price did nothing and I'm already talking about overheated area. Well, if it comes to stochastic RSI, this is what basically is showing us that it's overheated already, almost at level 100. And now guys, also if it comes to the chart pattern, of course I could be wrong, but that kind of make a sense for me that this is, well, let's say evident bear flag. So are we going to see some more downside? Well, short-term downside for Kaspa? This is definitely a good question, but if we would, then probably the target of this, well, rough target would be anything between, well, this level of a support that already Kaspa actually dipped into, which is at 7 cents, or potentially even some shakiness. Let me just go back in here, or potentially even some shakiness below this line, which is going to scare a lot of people. Also on Twitter, I have seen that many people didn't believe that Kaspa is going to reach 8 cents and potentially even 5, and this is just the beginning, and people are talking about Kaspa reaching 5 cents. Guys, first of all, Kaspa didn't reach 8 cents because somebody on Twitter was saying so. Kaspa reached 8 cents because, well, Bitcoin obviously cannot behave itself properly, right? So we have to start with that. Of course, we have lots of shakiness due to recent news such as DeepSeek, AI, and all of these, nonsense news that basically spooked the market, right? Because accordingly, we should go towards the upside now for altcoins, right? So everything that is actually going towards the downside at the moment, well, yes, we do have a pump, but on a weekly, let's say, and monthly is due to the fact of, the type of news that we are seeing, right? Regarding DeepSeek and or Seek, however you want to call it, and Trump's tariff war, right? However, guys, I am quite calm, okay? And I'm not talking only about Kaspa, I'm talking about overall market, okay? Not based on these daily bubbles. Of course, this is something good to see. However, now, since we have covered a little bit of a Kaspa short time frame, I'm going to show you a couple of different posts and data that I have found for you, and of course later we are going to look at the liquidity levels for BTC and our beloved Kaspa. So first of all, CryptoCon is posting this macro chart. So he says that people are starting to declare death to altcoins again. The last time he heard this was when the SEC was listing off many of them as securities, and exchanges started delisting in June 2023. Coincidentally, right at the bottom, the market has a funny way of rising from the ashes in a big way after it's declared dead. From many alts, nearly all of their price action for the cycle will likely come this year. Altcoins have always appeared decoupled after new BTC all-time highs until they are not, and they end up taking over in strength. This cycle for both Bitcoin and altcoin is unfazed. Guys, so let's have a look at the technicals, alright? Of course, I don't want to bore you with these charts, but I think it's definitely worth looking at them, okay? So looking at that blue circle that he has drawn in here, let's have a look, right? So blue circle is basically showing us that we are going to see all-time highs, well, let's say middle of 2025, let's call it that way. So in this case, when them altcoins are going to properly pump, well, probably after BTC is going to see its upside, I believe, right? Of course, we could have some relief rally just like we had in January, early January. Nonetheless, I believe that proper parabolic stage for altcoins, which I believe is yet to come, is going to come after BTC is going to see all-time highs. It depends, of course, different altcoins behaving differently depending on the time, right? Nonetheless, guys, you see that this pink red-ish color, November 28th, 2025, as he marked on the chart, could be the peak actually, and that would be around, well, 260, quite reasonable given the fact of what is happening. But guys, let's move on, because this account, which is Kush, that is posting that we should raise our targets because, you know, on a zoomed out perspective, BTC on a weekly looks like it's just a week of accumulation, and we are just about to actually start this cycle. Okay, well, definitely possible. Well, if we are going to compare it to this model of week of accumulation, that could definitely happen, and looks almost, you know, head to head similar, well, the same. And now also, Titan of Crypto is posting this chart 6 weekly for Bitcoin's dominance, right? He says that BTC's dominance is approaching a key reversal zone, with stochastics on the verge of exiting the overbought territory. Okay, well, if we are going to look at that perspective, this is 6 weekly chart, meaning that every single candle is representing what 6 weeks. We can see that we are experiencing that level of resistance in here, and also another area of confluence is the stochastic RSI is in overheated area, and most likely we are going to see downward momentum since we are basically in that overheated level, right? So something big could potentially happen in foreseeable future. Now also Merlin or Mergin or whatever, I hope that I have pronounced his name properly, is posting that this is where we are if it comes to that Wall Street cheat sheet regarding the BTC's dominance, which actually perfectly plays out, right? So we had the top, then obviously the dump. Everybody was so happy looking at it, right? Because obviously altcoins were pumping properly, and now we have this bearish retest, which is also considered as complacency. So, well, given the fact that this is very accurate, I'm more confident. But now also Mr. Is posting this, right? He says that when Ethereum eventually breaks this resistance, we will go parabolic. Well, looking at these two different situations, basically, that one on the right side is from the previous cycle. We had the proper parabolic stage, right? If you know, comparing to the previous all-time highs blow off top, right? And looking at the moment at Ethereum on 3 weekly, so hold your horses, because obviously that is a macro chart. We are yet to basically go towards the upside. Let's see how that is going to play out. By the way, I also have some chart that makes me a bit calm. I'm going to show you very soon. Mr. Max says that the chart below shows a beautiful inverse correlation between the two. USDT dominance has tested the 3.8% area twice in this cycle, with each bounce getting weaker. The next test will likely lead to a breakdown, which could trigger a new leg up in BTC. So let's have a look, guys, right? We had the drop, okay? Then we had obviously the rejection from this level of resistance, the number 2, and as you guys see, USDT dominance, even after this proper dump for altcoins and for BTC, couldn't even touch this level of resistance. So that obviously is a bullish thing. And of course, looking at BTC's chart below, these are inversely correlated, so I believe that's quite a strong signal, let's say. Anyways, guys, if you are interested into keeping your crypto safe outside of on exchanges on which anything might happen, Kaspa, BTC, Solana, so on and so forth, make sure that you check out Tangent Wallet, because Tangent Wallet protects you from exchanges basically that are manipulators. But anyways, with my discount code you can get minus 10% off, and you can find the link in the description down below. And of course you can find Bybit and BitUnex, which are trustworthy exchanges in my personal opinion. Now guys, moving on to Kaspa. I know that you want to look at Kaspa all the time, but guys, we have to remember why Kaspa is dumping, right? Kaspa is driven only by community, by us. That's the first thing. Of course, another thing is liquidity, which again is us pumping the price of Kaspa, and of course what is going on in the market. Okay, but anyways, let me not digress anymore, and let's have a look at the dashboard. So market cap is sitting at $2.2 billion, ranking 46, volume 45 mil, and well, nothing really happened if it comes to the price. Okay, now guys, before we are going to look at the liquidity, I've got something interesting for you, okay? So looking at this chart, retail and large investor holdings. Let me actually zoom it in. This is for BTC, but of course we have to pay attention to that as well. So we see that retail is basically this line in here, which is a violet color, violet, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, wherever you're watching from. And we can see that now retail investors are basically dumping their BTC, while whales, large investors, pink color, are accumulating BTC. So what does it tell me? Well, it tells me that we should probably be accumulating at the moment, and that on its own tells me that large investors, probably asset managers and exchanges, and of course whales, just rich people that are probably looking at this chart, are accumulating while people like us are selling. Okay, so more money flows into BTC, more money is going to outflow from BTC sooner or later, and of course it's going to drive that altcoin season sooner or later, hopefully. Okay, now guys, let's have a look at liquidity finally. So we've got liquidity for BTC first. Okay, at the moment more people are actually longing BTC, and that is kind of a scary thing, but this is obviously just a daily picture. Now looking at 7 daily, ladies and gents, more people are still shorting BTC, which is obviously a great thing. Let me actually switch it to 30 days. Let's see. So 30 days perspective, more people are shorting. We've got $10.6 billion worth of shorts versus 5.5 billion. Okay, so again, retail is shorting while I've just showed you that whales are accumulating on spot, of course, but whales are but retail is shorting all the time. Anyways guys, let's go. Let's have a look at some levels if it comes to heat map for BTC, and of course our beloved Kaspa as well. So 24 hourly is showing us that BTC could definitely dip into 94. Guys, I wouldn't want to see this stuff. Okay, I don't even look at my portfolio because of course Bitcoin is driving my overall portfolio, our overall portfolios, unless of course the dominance is going to drop, which we are going to come back to. Now something that I've been talking about, let's have a look at 2 weekly first, and let's see where 2 weekly is if it comes to that heat map for BTC. 2 weekly is showing that we could have that shakiness that I've just mentioned about 94, but liquidity is also piling up at 106. So in my personal humble opinion, what's going to happen is that we are going to dip to these levels for BTC. Okay, more people are going to short, and then whoopsie doopsie, everybody is going to experience short squeeze, and short traders are going to experience, well, pain, I guess. But of course guys, let's see if that theory is actually going to play out. Now Binance, Kaspa, perpetual, only 2 weekly since I have 2 weekly, and then later we are going to look at the short time frame. Okay, so if it comes to 2 weekly guys, this is what's going on. Kaspa could potentially dip into these levels. Okay, so this one is 8 cents 0. Okay, exact 8 cents, and we've got 7.6. Okay, so let's go back to trading view. Whoopsie doopsie, not here. 8 cents 0 and then 7.6. Okay, so 7.6 guys, you see this? Perfect. Okay, of course I'm not saying that, you know, this is going to happen, but I did liquidity check after I've drawn this target. Okay, so let's see if that is going to happen. Okay, just in case, if you believe in my thesis, you can definitely set up a limit order. If you are new, you can obviously use the exchanges and the links down below, and let's see how things are going to play out. Okay, I have very little fuel if it comes to USDT, to being honest with you, so obviously I wish I would, but if you still somehow have, I believe these opportunities are good. But again, you know, these situations are teaching us that we should always have some USDT and never be, you know, 100% in the market. Okay. Anyways, guys, now going to Bitcoin's dominance potentially on short time frame. Sorry, that's BTC. Potentially on short time frame, we could see some positivity. Okay, and why positivity? Well, we are still trading in this overall pattern in here of rising wedge, and we got properly rejected from here. Okay, so once we are going to lose this level as a support and turn it into resistance, that's definitely going to be much juicier, but that's of course just 4 hourly. Let's switch it to daily. Okay, so daily gives me a little bit of more confidence, and as you guys can clearly see, now we are being supported on a daily. Let's see how this candle is going to close. Nonetheless, RSI is hopefully going to go towards the downside. Okay, so that's the hope on a daily. And also USDT dominance, something that we have to monitor, guys. Another sign of hope, let's say, is that this overall level of bear flag is actually playing out at the moment. At least we have closed above a little bit on a daily in here. However, now we are being hopefully rejected, and that candle is going to go towards the downside now. So we are still kind of trading within that formation, and of course stochastic RSI is in overheated area, guys. So to conclude everything, okay, I'm not selling anything on spot. I do regret a little bit that I haven't sold my profits when we got these election news in January. Nonetheless, guys, it is what it is. I'm definitely not going to allow my emotions to you know, dictate my decisions in crypto. Okay, of course I am not telling you what you should be doing, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. I hope that this video helps, guys, and as always, peace and love, crypto.